This offseason has been awesome if you're a wide receiver. We have seen a number of wideouts either get traded, sign with a new team, or get extensions from their current teams. In fact, we have seen a total of 16 teams make major moves at the position. In this video, I'm going to go over why all this has happened and what were the best moves teams made involving wide receivers. What's going on there, guys? Darren here from 610 Football. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for some of the best football content out on YouTube. While the offseason has been crazy for a lot of teams and positions, there is no doubt that this offseason has had the biggest impact on wide receivers, and it all started with the wide receiver market getting reset. This happened when the Jaguars signed Christian Kirk to a massive deal. Kirk is a good receiver, but the Jaguars decided to pay him as if he was one of the top dogs in the league, giving him a deal worth 4 years and $72 million. For a guy who was yet to put up 1,000 yards in a season. When Kirk signed his deal, the only receivers that were getting an average annual value higher than him were Amari Cooper, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, and DeAndre Hopkins. So when premium receivers saw that someone like Kirk was getting wide receiver 1 money, it set off a chain reaction. And since this was the first wide receiver move to happen, this paved the road for the craziness that was yet to follow. And the wild part is, this may not be over. While I was writing this video, Brandon Cooks signed an extension with the Texans. And if you want to look later into this offseason, you have guys like DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, and Hunter Renfrow are all up for extensions. All of whom are better than Christian Kirk, and all of whom who are going to get paid like it, whether it be by their current team or a different one. So what were the top 5 moves made that involved a wide receiver? At number 5, I'm going to put the Chiefs signing Marquez Valdes-Scantling. This is actually the only signing that I have on the list, but it's a pretty darn good one. Now, while Patrick Mahomes isn't going to struggle without Tyreek Hill, throwing for an average of 347 yards per game in contests he didn't have Hill, KC still needed to find somewhat of a replacement for the Cheetah. MVS gives the Chiefs a wide receiver who still has blazing fast speed, plus it gives Kansas City some much needed size in the wide receiver room. Last year, the Chiefs' tallest receiver was Josh Gordon, and he hardly played. While the Chiefs mainly leave all their 50-50 ball duties to Travis Kelce, having Scantling's size and speed on the outside is going to be great for Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid has never really had a receiver like Valdes-Scantling, who is an outside guy that has both great size and speed. Really, the only other time Reid has had somebody like that was Terrell Owens back in 2004. Now, I'm not saying that MVS is going to be the next TO, but we have seen how much a Reid offense can improve when you have an extra receiver who has a great combination of size and speed like Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Terrell Owens. Number 4 is going to be Devante Parker being traded to the Patriots. Last season, the Patriots went out and upgraded their receiving core in a big way, signing Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Agholor. While the former ended up having a great year, along with Jacoby Myers, who was already on the team, the Pats still lack a true number 1 receiver. Trading for Parker gives them that option. Parker had a breakout year in 2019, but has struggled a little bit since then. The Patriots do a lot of their scoring in the red zone, with 16 of Mac Jones' 22 passing touchdowns coming from inside the 20. Parker also gives them another jump ball receiver. Yes, I know that Jacoby Myers was like second in contested catches, but if you go back and look at them all, they're more so just dots by Jones as opposed to a contested catch by Myers. Parker is also incredibly cheap for the Patriots. New England only had to give up a 2022 5th and a 2023 3rd for the former first round pick. Plus, they are only paying him an average of $6 million a year, an absolute steal for the Patriots. Number 3 is the Browns trading for Amari Cooper. With OBJ being released mid-season and the Browns destined to move on from 31-year-old Jarvis Landry, Cleveland knew they had to get another receiver to pair up with Donovan Peoples-Jones. Amari Cooper, like the previous 2 guys mentioned, brings a combination of size and speed that is lethal, even though Coop is on a little bit of the smaller side. But bringing in Cooper also means you get one of the, if not the best route runner in the league. You combine that route running of Cooper along with the possession abilities of Donovan Peoples-Jones, and that's a pretty darn good receiving duo for Deshaun Watson to throw to. Now, while Cooper is getting paid $20 million a year, that's really not that bad of a price when you consider A, how much some other premium receivers are now getting paid, and B, you get the best route runner in the NFL. Number 2 will be the Dolphins trading for Tyreek Hill. Now, while I did make a video detailing why this could be an awful thing for Tua Tagovailoa, Hill will undoubtedly help that offense in one way or another. Hill is nothing but speed. Quite possibly the fastest active receiver in the NFL. Hill went from being one of the best punt returners in the league to being one of the best receivers. He's both a deep threat and a run after catch receiver. The Dolphins pairing him up with Jalen Waddle and Cedric Wilson is going to be a nightmare for a lot of defensive backfields in the NFL. Now, Miami did have to give up a lot for him, a handful of draft picks, including a first this year, plus a brand new contract that gives Hill $30 million annually, which is the highest in the league. But when you have a QB like Tua, who is still on his rookie contract, you have the ability to throw around big money like that. And naturally at number 1 is going to be the Raiders trading for Devante Adams. What put this at the top spot for me is that Las Vegas knew they had to stay competitive with how much better their division got this offseason. There is a very good chance that the 2022 AFC West ends up becoming one of the best divisions in NFL history. Prior to the Adams trade, the Broncos and the Chargers made significant moves to get better, and the Chiefs are just the Chiefs. The Raiders knew that if they wanted to stay competitive, then they knew they had to make a huge move, and I'd say getting Devante Adams fits that bill pretty well. Adams is arguably the best receiver in the NFL. Once again, great combination of size and speed, but you also get fantastic hands and route running, the entire deal with Adams. Pairing him on the outside with Bryan Edwards, along with Hunter Renfrow in the slot and Darren Waller at tight end, Derek Carr is going to have one hell of a time throwing in that offense. And while yes, Adams is expensive, you are getting what you paid for in him, and he is going to help elevate that Raiders offense in 2022, allowing for them to keep pace in the AFC West. So that's it for today's video. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. Goes a long way towards supporting me, this channel, and my dream, and I appreciate every single one of you guys who help supports me. Also, make sure you go follow all my other social media links listed down in the description below. I have an Instagram, a TikTok, and a Twitter. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.